Hi guys, in this presentation we're going to show you the importance of equity.
Now, we are going to talk about the importance of equity. Equity eradicates discrimination, so as not favor to one sex in any social context.
Thus it seeks equal recognition of both women and men, as well as respect of their fundamental rights.
Now I'm going to tell you a fun fact. In the 2021 edition, Iceland ranks for the first of 12 consecutive year as the most gender equitable country of the world.
Hi, I want to show you what equity is. It's important to know that there are different types of equity. For example,
Gender equity, it allows providing women and men with the same opportunities conditions and forms of treatment without leaving aside the particularities of each one of them, which allows and guarantees access to the rights they have as citizens.
equity in law implies a different treatment regarding specific situations, always with the purpose of achieving equity in the exercise of rights, since all people are social subjects of rights.
Discrimination against women is structural. This 51.4% of the Mexican population in the year 2015 has historically been a victim of exclusion in Mexico. More than half of the country population is or has been discriminated against because of their sex. And this type of discrimination is wrought sex-based violence and gender stereotypes and social norms that replicate such discrimination. Given the demolished effect of discrimination as a woman, efforts are chiefly emphasized on directions to survivors and services.
Discrimination against people with disabilities has occurred due to the lack of knowledge of society about this condition, which has prevented them from enjoying their rights.
Pregnancy discrimination consists of treating a woman, employed or job applicant, unfairly because of pregnancy, childhood, or another medical situation about pregnancy or childhood. As I said, this.
In Mexico, the LGBT community faces high levels of discrimination in many living environments. 92% of LGBT adolescents had to hide their sexual orientation and/or gender identity from their family.
In order to make reasonable adjustments under the Equality Act, employers and organizations have a responsibility to make sure that disabled people can access jobs, education, and services as easily as non-disabled people. This is known as the duty to make reasonable adjustments. Disabled people can experience discrimination if the employer or organization doesn't make a reasonable adjustment. This is known as a failure to make reasonable adjustments. For example, an employee with mobility impairments needs a parking space close to the office. However, her employer only gives parking spaces to senior managers and refuses to give her a designated parking space. What is reasonable depends on a number of factors, including the resources available to the organization making the adjustment. If an organization already has a number of parking spaces, it would be reasonable for it to designate a close entrance for the employee. The Equality Act also protects people from discrimination arising from disability. This protects you from being treated badly because of something connected to your disability, such as having an assistance dog or needing time for medical appointments. This not no applies unless the person who discriminated against you knew you had a disability or ought to have known. For example, a private nursery refuses to give a place to a little boy because he is not toilet trained. His parents have told him that he isn't toilet trained because he has Ayres-Bronx disease, but they still refuse to give him a place. This is discrimination arising from the little boy's disability. An employee with cancer is prevented from receiving a bonus because of time she has taken off to receive treatment. Discrimination arising from disability is unlawful unless the organization or employer is able to show that there is a good reason for the treatment and it is proportionate. This is known as objective justification.
Well, in Mexico, employment discrimination due to pregnancy is one of the more relevant social problems, despite efforts to combat it. Another fact we found was that among working women, 39% report having been pregnant in the last 5 years. Of this sector, 4.7% suffer a type of discrimination due to their status. Since women were fired, their contract was not renewed, or their benefits were reduced, the same as salary. Labor discrimination due to pregnancy is a form of violence that affects multiple rights of pregnant women, their families, and their babies. Not only their labor rights, and given its presence in our country, it is necessary to make it visible and offer information for its eradication, because we cannot let this happen in a world, because that is bad. We are discriminating, and that is simply bad.
Society is full of people who believe women are inferior to men, and it is much more reflected in work situations, as can be seen in the image, that is mainly talking about the salary they receive. The case to be reflected is from a man to a woman, but there are several cases where the same thing happens, and in the majority due to lack of resources or opportunities. Returning to the issue of the difference in salary, it is necessary to make it clear that being a woman is a great delimiter in order to receive the same treatment as a man. My proposal to solve the matter is that society be re-educated with the values of equality and equity, mainly because if the problem is not solved at the root, the problem will re-emerge just like is currently happening.